Hello, this is Mark Herman. It is July 2nd, 2026, but today we're going to talk about July 2nd, 1863, and the events that led up to the second day of the Battle of Gettysburg. So, what you have in this shot is the A map of Lee Moves North. I will be handing in the final playbook to our developer Jason Carr on Monday. So this is sort of, and I again, as always, I'm play testing it over and over and over again. But now it'll start going into broader testing, and and the development process will begin. And the game will be on the P500, I'm told, in the middle of July, and all that good stuff. So this one is starting to move down the quay from my perspective, and after this I plan on having handed in a Caesar game to Mark Simonich, and after this, I got Defiance and Triumvirate with Jeff Engelstein and David Doctor in final production. And then, so after this, I'm going back to the Pacific for the Empire of the Sun China expansion module. And I'm going to the Mediterranean for Empire of the Sun goes to Mediterranean. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the year after this goes in. However, just because I do games that I want to play, I'll be playing this one for the rest of the year. This setup is not going to move, and I'm going to keep doing it. And so let me give you a quick scope of what's going on. So right now in the shot, this is Greencastle. It's Greencastle, right? Yeah, Greencastle. This is Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And this is Rhodes's division from the Second Corps, now just having crossed over into Pennsylvania. And let me give you a quick scan of all the maps. So right now we're looking north. So we start to move looking east, and you'll see that orange dye by the Rebel Theory box. That is where Gettysburg is. I put that there because of the reflection. I can't do anything. The windows don't have shades, and I can't block out the light, so you won't be able to see the detail of Map B. But if you watch the live stream I just did last night with Cam Sawyer, you'll get a very good detailed view of the actual Gettysburg map, so you can check that out. And then as we scan down around, there's, all the way, and again, and you're looking at 8 campaign maps, by the way. And so it's 2 maps across and 4 maps deep, so that's 48 square feet of map. Now, you're saying to yourself, I don't have that kind of table space to play a game, and I agree, and I have it only because I do this for a living, and this is pretty much most of the tables I own. Well, it's actually about a third of the tables I own for work, but and this will be almost a permanent setup in my house, I think, after this for at least till the end of the year. But the game, Map E, is the Antietam map, and in fact, Sharpsburg is right here. I think that's in the shot. My finger's there. Yeah. So that's Sharpsburg, Virginia. That's where the Battle of Antietam takes place, right there. That's a better shot of it, hopefully. And Gettysburg is a 1-map game. That's Map B. So Map B has 4 scenarios. You have the 1 dog, which is the first day of Gettysburg. You have 2 dog, which is the afternoon of the second day of Gettysburg. You have 3 dog, which is the afternoon of the third day of Gettysburg, better known as Pickett's Charge. And then you have 4 dog. So I have a 4-day Gettysburg scenario. I don't know that anybody in recent memory has ever done the 4th day. And it's interesting that it's an important day because that's how Lee doesn't retreat. It's the retreat, the beginning of the retreat. And this game, by the way, covers the entire retreat, which is, again, not something that's usually covered. And it's actually a fascinating period of history that I really didn't know a lot about. Even though I knew about it, I didn't know about it in the level of detail I now know about it. So, again, why I do games is to be a historian and learn things. But and then Antietam has South Mountain and Antietam. So basically, you've got these 8 maps, but on 2 of the maps, you've got 6 of the 12 scenarios. So basically, if you got a game where you had 6 scenarios and 2 maps, that would be a standard game in our hobby. This one then has the addition that you have the full scope of the June 23rd Hooker responding to Lee's advance towards Maryland in 1863, but you also have Lee's turning movement in 1862 that leads to the Battle of Antietam, and then you have a June 28th campaign scenario which covers when Meade took command, And also, there's a bonus scenario for Early's 1864 attack on Monocacy Junction, which is actually in the shot over here. That takes place over there. So what I thought I would do today is just walk you through the beginning. This is the June 23rd scenario where a lot of people are entering the map. And so to give you a sense of where we are looking, so over here, this is Harper's Ferry, and you can see the defense of Harper Ferry. And this is the lower Shenandoah Valley here, up to the Potomac. And that is down here. It's in the shot. Over here, it's hard for me to, my arms are only so long. Yeah, it's in the shot. This is the first corps, Longstreet's first corps coming up from the upper valley. You've got the third corps arrayed, ready to cross. And I showed you earlier, the second corps is already up the Cumberland Valley with most of it in Pennsylvania already. And so this scenario begins on June 23rd in the afternoon, and it begins with basically a Confederate-only move. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just describe the opening of the scenario for you, and then we'll move on, and I'll keep playing from there. So anyway, so starting up, let's first move the third corps. Again, using extended march, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's one move of the 19. 1, 2. As you can see, you can move very quickly to. Then this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 6. Again, I could move these pieces. In fact, I'm going to move these 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it was 2, 4, 6, 7. That's 8. And now we'll spend the rest of the moves getting the first corps. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll move them actually. That was 8. That's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10. 11. 12. 13, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, and 18 we'll start to cross half across the river. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there you have 19 moves. Now, the June 24th AM turn, and I've just I'll give you a sense of how the scenario is going to unfold. I'm going to walk over to that end of the map. So, Buford's cavalry, for illustrations, comes on here and has already made their first 2 moves of the June 24th AM turn. Of course, there's a whole sequence of play that hasn't been gone through, but that's where they would end up at the end of 2 moves. And this then is the rest of the Union Army will be following. This is Edwards Ford. So the Union Army is going to come up this way. You got the Confederates coming up this way, and they're going to move in parallel tracks down. They're going to go down the Cumberland Valley. They're going to go down central Maryland, and this is Frederick. And on June 28th, the June 28th scenario, if you saw it, the Confederates would be all up on map A, which is where I just showed you Chambersburg is, and the Union Army would be concentrated here when Meade took control of the Army of the Potomac. So that gives you a sense of some of the scenarios and how they might play out. And so again, here we are on, oh, look at that. Dropped that bad boy, but I caught it. So you see this is my usual amazing lack of talent with a camera. But here we are with July 2nd, 2026, looking at July 2nd, 1863. So enjoy the video. Bye.